This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
Often on our wildlife segments, we talk about the beauty of Kansas. We give you tours of the lakes and breaks and all the cool spots around Kansas. But you know, any spot, no matter how ordinary it looks, can be transformed by the snow or the frost. You know, we think about snowfall transforming landscapes, but frost can be pretty spectacular. So let's take a look at frost, what it is, how it happens, and how it transforms the most ordinary scene into something from a storybook. You know, we get pretty excited when the snow covers everything, and it has this way of just transforming the landscape, doesn't it? But frost can do the same thing, and there have been a few mornings here in western Kansas. I'm telling you folks, we have had some magnificent frost. So I thought I would turn to the folks at National Geographic who know everything. They just know everything. And find out, and this was such a simple explanation, such a great source to turn to, how frost forms and exactly what it is that can transform the lowliest, most ordinary weed into something really magnificent.
Frost is water vapor, or water in gas form that becomes solid. Frost usually forms on objects like cars, windows, and plants that are outside in air that is filled with moisture. Areas that have a lot of fog often have heavy frost. Frost forms when an outside surface cools past the dew point. The dew point is the point where the air gets so cold the water vapor in the atmosphere turns to liquid. This liquid freezes and makes frost. Frost is most common in low-lying areas. Warm air rises, cool air sinks. Cool air is denser than warm air. That means there are usually more water molecules in cool air than in warm air. As cool air collects in valleys, frost forms. Frost usually forms at night when the air temperature is cooler. Once the sun rises and warms the air around the frosted object, the frost melts pretty quickly. There are different types of frost. The most common are radiation frost, also called Hoarfrost, H-O-A-R frost, Advection frost, window frost, and Rime. Radiation frost is in the form of tiny ice crystals that usually shows up on the ground or exposed objects outside. Hoarfrost also forms in refrigerators and freezers. Advection frost is a collection of small ice spikes. Advection frost forms when a cold wind blows over the branches of trees, poles, and other surfaces. Window frost forms when a glass window is exposed to cold air outside and moist air inside. Window frost is familiar to winter residents of cold climates. Indoor heat and cold outdoor temperatures form this type of frost. Window frost was much more common before people began using double-paned windows. Rime is frost that forms quickly, usually in very cold, wet climates. Rime also forms in windy weather. Rime sometimes looks like solid ice. Ships traveling through cold places, like the Arctic Ocean, often end up with rime covering at least a part of the exposed ship. Of course, farmers must be especially diligent of frost forecast. The impact on crops can be devastating, but if your crops aren't in danger, the fleeting beauty of the frost on the landscape is spectacular. Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.